So here we are next morning, and we got a lot of work ahead of us, don't we, Bonnie?
We do.
So I was playing with our kitty cats that you just saw. They're so cute. They're ready to garden with us, and we're drinking a cup of coffee. This was good. What is this?
Espresso.
I know, but like I didn't have to put any sugar. It's foamy.
It's really good.
Oh my gosh.
Compliments of my doctor that I work with. He gave me an espresso maker.
I want one now.
I know.
Like I need one of these.
So good.
Did you put anything else in it other than
Just a tiny bit of cream? Yeah.
Oh,
very good.
Look how creamy it is.
Did you span what we have to do today?
I know I'm going to. Like I'm really excited for you. Like it's instant.
We have to dig a lot of holes.
Yeah. I need a bigger auger. I have a bigger auger. I need a bigger drill.
Yeah.
So power planter and Greg, like I need to reach out to you. I need a bigger drill. You need to send me one. All right. So we're doing coffee, and then afterwards we're gonna like plop on the couch and have. What are we gonna have?
Mimosa.
Mimosa.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Let's get to planting. So this is what we're looking at, you guys. So this is where the hydrangea placement's gonna be. And then the sunshine Ligustrums. Look at the kitty cat. So doesn't it make an instant impact into the garden right here? So I think she hoped that these Emerald Green Arborvitaes were gonna grow together, but they're spaced kind of far apart. But look how pretty it is. Just having that big pop of sunshine coming through. And these are going to get 6 feet, so it's going to be taller than us, so it'll definitely be way taller than this fence in the next year or two. It's going to be so pretty. Bonnie, what's this one's name?
Axel.
Axel. This is Axel. Both boys. And they like to hunt for her. Sometimes they bring in a bird and little geckos. So this is enough to keep us busy today. She planted this tree last year and it's glorious. Loving that burgundy color, red. I love red in the garden too. You need red, yellows, greens. We have cow manure from Pete's Biotone to amend our soil. And you can tell amending the soil here helps in this clay because we are in Charlotte, North Carolina, Zone 8. You can hear the birds in the background. And I'm in Bonnie's backyard. And this is where my yard is. So we have one house in between us. Look how pretty all of our grass is. So I use the Anderson's product, and we use the Anderson's PGF Complete once a month fertilizer. And then we make sure we use our Duicide in order to get the fire ants and grubs. And then we put fungicide to prevent fungus throughout the year. And then of course we always have used the pre-emergent, and look how pretty. And that's my yard from a different view. You can see the lake house back there. That's the reason why I wanted all the screening plants. And then Bonnie wants to screen our neighbor's house and then our other neighbor's house on the corner here. So usually Dawn's videoing me, but I'm get to video Bonnie planting today. So this was the new container that she bought yesterday, and look at the pairing. It's so pretty together because she's got that dark blue container already, and then she already had the white one, and we put this great punch in there, and this is going to fill out this pot. This plant did so good for me last year. And then look at this container, brand new container. So this is what a pairing of 3 containers looks like. So pretty. And we already talked about the plants that we got yesterday at Wilson's. So we're gonna plant it up.
Okay, so first I'm just gonna kind of set them.
So I would put, that one's gonna spill over, Bonnie.
Oh, that's the spill. This is the tall.
That's the tall.
This is gonna spill.
I would, yep.
I just want to get them all in there
Yep.
first. And then we got these 2 guys.
And all these are our fillers.
So that's spill, that's that.
Yep. And then look at the texture on this one. I just love this one.
I know.
The
Silver
texture.
bullet.
Yep.
Silver bullet.
Pull it towards me now so we can see it.
Oh, you got it?
Oh my gosh, look at that. I bought one of those too because I loved it. Me and Bonnie like the same things, but you know, when you got good taste, you got good taste, right, Bonnie?
That's right. What can we say? All right, so would you put this, now this is gonna get, is that gonna grow tall? Let's see.
I think it's
height 6 to 10 inches.
Yeah. So we'll plant that like on an angle, just like with your yeah. So sometimes when you're having stuff that's going to spill over, instead of putting it upright like this, we'll plant it like on an angle, and that way it'll spill over. And the same with this one, because this is going to fill in the middle, and this one's going to get really tall, 40 inches, I think, right? We said.
So. Let me look.
And can you imagine, like, when it does get tall, it's going to like be up to here. Well, let me show.
24 to 40 inches.
Yeah. So it's going to get 40 inches. So it's going to get just as tall as this little obelisk there. So it's going to look really pretty, like all together.
Oh.
What?
I forgot the drip.
Oh. Well.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's important, I guess.
Important.
So we put in the soil without putting in drip.
I'm gonna go
So
get my drip.
yeah, we might as well just take the soil out.
Yep.
And putting the drip in there, because it's got a drain hole at the bottom, and then we could easily hook up to drip over here, and you could see where we've already hooked up. See, this container is hooked up to drip, and then we got the drip in here. Do you see it right here, you guys? So we don't have to constantly water. We want to make things easier on us because we work. And then you got the drip that comes over here to this. This is the 1/2-inch tubing drip, and this is the black tubing 1/4 that carries from A to B. And then it's up through the drain hole and then comes up, and then we connected with this drip tubing, this brown drip tubing. Sometimes I call it copper tubing. And this is where it's got the emitters. This is the emitter right there. And it drips on both sides. And then we put it down with our landscape staples. Same thing up here with this plant. Look how pretty this texture is. So that's why you constantly want to add texture. So we got like waves here, and on this pot, different texture that comes more down straight. And then this one adds the color combination. So that's what you want to do when you're thinking about pairing. And this is a mandevilla, and it is gorgeous. So it rained hard last night, so that's why you can still see little droplets of rain on our leaves here. Bonnie likes red, which I'm so glad, because I like softer colors, so I get to come and look at her red up here. But she's got a brown house, which I think the red looks good with her house. Or mine's like a dark gray, so red might not pop as much as like hot pinks and yellows for my house. So you want to complement your house too. And then we do have some things to kind of get the pots off the ground so this drip won't be pinched off. You might have to get some little something to put underneath that one too, Bonnie. But I like these things that we got yesterday.
I think I'll get some blue ones for that.
Blue ones.
Yeah.
Because you're going back tomorrow anyways.
I know.
We forgot soil.
When was that? Remember he gave me those discounts that I could apply.
Yeah, you might have to wait though till later on.
So I gotta go get the soil, so I might as well get a couple things I want, but then wait on that water feature.
Yeah. So we're gonna get all this soil out, put our drip in, and as soon as we get all that, then I'll come back and show you the planting.
Okay.
All right, so this is our drip tubing right here. This is what drips. This is just the 1/4 tubing that just carries you from A to B. So we're gonna do a coupler. Oops. And this is a 2-way coupler. And we're just gotta wiggle it on there. There you go.
Okay.
And then on the other end, we're gonna hook it up to our drip. The drip tubing, you just have to use a little bit more muscle, right, Bonnie?
Yeah.
It's just harder to get it in there.
Okay.
But once it's in, it's in. So this is what it looks like. So the drip tube's coming down from the bottom of the drainage hole. Make sure your containers always have a drainage hole. Most of them do.
Yeah, they come, most
But
of them
some of them do not, and you got to really pay attention. Right. So then we got the black tubing coming up through the drainage hole. It's connected to our drip, and now we can fill with soil. But on the end of the drip tubing, you always have to put something on the end because it will just drip out. Oops. And you will lose your resistance of water. How would I say
it'll just flow.
Yeah,
So
it'll
you don't
just
want it
flow.
to flow out. You want it
Yeah.
to drip.
So we're gonna put an end stop or something at the very end. You can use another dripper, but we're just gonna use an end stop because we have five emitters on here. There's the emitters. And I get this at Lowe's. You can get it, I have a link to all this if you just wanna get it on Amazon as well. And I have several videos to hook up your own drip tubing. I did it myself. You can do it yourself too. You don't have to pay someone $1,000 to hook up drip for you. So we're filling it with soil. And what kind of soil? Oh, this is the Proven Winner soil.
Proven Winner.
Proven Winners premium soil right here. And we got this at King's when we were there because they carry a lot of Proven Winners plants. See, Proven Winners. They always have a white container with a PW, and this is an annual, which means it lasts 1 year. Some annuals do come back. Let's see. This one, is called Super Tunia Raspberry Rush. Now the Super Tunias, you do not have to deadhead at all. And this one is going to be our filler. Let's turn it around. Got all this dirt on here. So you can plant it to a hard frost. You can see that it says mounding and trailing right here. Annual except for in zones 10 through 11. So if you're in zones 10, this plant will come back. Now it doesn't always mean, sometimes I'll have still annuals come back. It'll say 10 and they will still come back for me. So we're just planting it up here. This is our coleus right here. That's gonna be our thriller. It's gonna get really tall. Let me have that tag, Bonnie. So this is the Color Blaze Lime Time. And you can see it's gonna get 40 inches tall and it takes sun or shade. So yes, coleus you can put in the sun, but it's gotta be the Color Blaze series. And they have several colors. And we're putting the raspberry in there, which is a tricolor, and it looks really good. The tricolor looks good with this pot right here too. It's a real pretty bloom on there. I love it. I got me some of those too. Yeah.
I like it with the white.
Yeah. Now it's not the Vista series, so this one's not going to get, it's not going to overgrow this container, but it's going to make a big presence, definitely. Now we're going to plant this one at an angle because it's going to be our spiller. So let me just show, do you see how it's at an angle? Instead of doing like, this would be straight up and down, but we're going to angle it here. And we just got to make sure that these roots are covered. So I put it in there just a little bit deeper, Bonnie, like halfway, and then we'll add more soil to where the roots are covered. There you go. And then we just got this beauty. Proven Winners Accent Silver Bullet. And it gets 6 to 10 inches tall. There's a bug on my finger.
Hmm.
And you can see right here, it's mounded. It doesn't really tell how much spread it's gonna get. Well, 6 to 10. I don't know if this is the spread right here. It's an annual except in zones.
So is this okay like this, or move it up more? Like it should be like this?
I like it there.
Okay.
So this is annual except zones 5A to 9B, Bonnie. So you can replant this somewhere else.
Oh,
and
nice.
it'll come back for us. We'll have to remember this. So even though this is an annual, this is one that will act as a perennial for us. So that's exciting. So we'll have to remember. So this is the only one in this container, and you never know about these. Like it may come back.
Yeah.
This one takes full sun.
Well, we get full sun back here, so
Yeah,
good. I feel like
And
I'm
then-
burying this.
it's fine. And then when you water it in, it'll like get down the soil. Someone's mowing, so I'm sorry if you hear someone mowing, but I just cannot. There's always someone mowing.
I know.
We live in a neighborhood in an HOA, and our houses are so close together, so it's just going to be something that I have to constantly be aware of.
Okay, so what do you think?
Yep. And then, of course, they're all going to fill in, even though it doesn't look like it is right now. Or you could move this one, Bonnie, over here more,
Okay.
and that way it'll look like it's filled in a little bit more. But it's still going to fill in. Maybe move it over here just to the center. Maybe right. You got these roots right there, don't you? Put it right there. There you go. And it just fills it in a little bit better. Me and Bonnie are dangerous when we go to the nursery.
God.
And she said she woke up this morning thinking about that water feature that we saw, and she's like, can't undo it now.
I know.
But everybody needs a water feature. The sound of water is just so soothing and so relaxing. Plants are good for your soul, and water's good for your soul. We so love being, and we're so blessed, aren't we, Bonnie, that
Oh
we
my
get to go
gosh.
on the lake with Al and
Yes.
Cindy, because they have a pontoon boat. And then
That is very relaxing.
the lake is just right back there. You can't see it from the trees, but oh, very relaxing. I'll have to bring you along someday.
Okay, what do you think?
Oh, very good. Maybe put a little bit more soil there and right here. And then we got to get it watered in and then put our drip tubing around it before it gets all filled in. And then we'll use like a little landscape staple to hold it down.
So I did use the
Oh, yeah.
plant food proven winners.
So we'll
Water
come back.
soluble.
We'll come back today and add this. Remember, I said you use 1 scoop to 1 gallon. I think
Yep,
Bonnie's.
I already mixed it.
Oh, you already mixed it.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I'm gonna put this.
So
in
then we're
here.
going to give it some food. It does have some in the soil, but this is going to really make these plants grow and fill in. So once a week, Bonnie, is what's recommended, but
Okay.
if definitely at least once every 2 weeks is going to make these plants give enough food to fill in and grow and be gorgeous throughout the summertime.
Okay, is that good?
Yeah, you might as well go ahead and give the other ones the rest. Was that the only container that we had to plant up today?
Yeah, that was it. Besides all the.
So we did this not too long ago, this mandevilla, and I thought this obelisk would be really pretty and add some height to it too. And once it starts growing, we can tag this up to this obelisk. That would be really pretty as well. It's not a climbing one, it's more of a bush one. But here you go, you guys. So it'll be so pretty by the end of the day. I'll come back and show you after these flowers perk up, just like this one, because we planted it up the other day. This curly cute grass, it's called a corkscrew grass. I gifted that to her because I had some left.
I love that.
And this is the grape punch, Super Bell's grape punch. Now for me, we have the clay soil, and super bells do not do good in our clay soil because they like their feet dry. They do not like their feet wet. So that's why we put the super bells in the containers, and we could put the super tunias, what was that, Al?
Yeah.
The super tunias in the containers or the ground. So this one you could do both. But the super bells, the Celebratory, you want to make sure for us in our zone that's hard clay, make sure you put these in the containers because they're not going to be happy in the ground. If you had sandy soil and it drains really well, then that might be something that you can try in the ground. Look at the Mandevilla, and she had a sun patient begonia, or it's a begonia for sun left over. So we put it here since it was red and red.
Okay, now I gotta get the tube in.
Put it inside the throat there. The sun's just kind of like shining through it.
So I gotta do even
I'll
the
squish
bend
them.
with a duocide.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't have enough. Can't get it.
Okay, hang on. So this is the plant that I just planted, and you can see right here there's the drip. So since it's downhill, water goes down that way, so it's never going to drain up here. So we're going to put an emitter there, or we're going to plug into this and add drip to up here, and I'll show you how to do that. Plus, it's going to give you, it'll give you privacy like you want.
And they'll grow bigger, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how tall are these grow?
How tall will they grow?
6 feet.
Oh, really?
You could prune them too.
6 feet, that's like they'll cover the fence.
We'll be over the fence.
All right, I need a
end cap.
end stopper.
Okay.
And then put a landscape staple down there. Make it a little bit bigger. There you go. Okay.
Just one?
And I do another one on the other side. And then you're going to add a little bit more mulch, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Chuck,
that's how
where do
you
you go?
add from the 1/2 inch tubing with the coupler, the 1/4 inch tubing. So this way this is going to get water, and then we put an end cap on it and landscape staples to hold it down. And we're going to add mulch, cover it up with mulch like this. I need to come back and cover that up too. I had a hard time finding it. This is what you do when you have what? How many years, Bonnie?
Oh,
3, 4 years of adding mulch and adding mulch. Look.
So
So it's like broke down to like compost.
yeah, 4 years now.
And this is how much that it was buried. You can go ahead and bury it.
Okay.
Wow. Drip is good because then when it drips right to the roots, then it will not evaporate, so it'll get more right to where the plant needs. So that's why drip is awesome. Love it. Look at this gorgeous plant. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. So now we're working on our drip. Do you see I have, this is kind of deep down the ground. We had to find it because there's 3 years of adding mulch on here. But here is the 1/2 inch tubing right there. And then our 2-way coupler attached to the 1/4 dripping. There's an emitter, and we've got 5 emitters, and then it's going around this tree right here. Because originally we put a plant here, but the drip was down there and it goes downhill. So the plant up here was never really getting any good water. So I think that's the reason why they didn't do good. So now this has got its own drip. We already did drip to that one. And actually I'm soaking that one right now, just on a slow soak originally. And then after that, then the drip's gonna do fine. Look how gorgeous these are.
They are gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. Up against this Emerald Green Arborvitae, the Sunshine Ligustrum is so beautiful. That bee right there says, I'm happy. Where are you? So that's what our drip's gonna look like. And we got, how many plants, Bonnie? 6.
Of the Sunshine.
2 hydrangeas, and then we replanted 3 of the forsythias. So we're gonna make, we have a hole puncher, and we're gonna make a hole. You just don't want it near the fat part of the emitter, which I don't see one. It might be right over here. We're gonna make a hole here, just punch it. Until there's a hole in there, like so. We're gonna bring it out. And then we're gonna use the 1/4 inch tubing that's right here. And this right here, these are new connectors, which I like them because you can hang on to them. Like, you see.
Bigger.
It's
Longer.
easier to hang on like this, which I like. And then we're gonna put it on this end, but Bonnie's gonna have to do it for me because I'm videoing. So you just wiggle it in. Isn't it easier to hold on to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're longer, so it's nice. Okay.
And then you're gonna take this and we're gonna put it in that little hole right there. And you'll hear it snap. But you do have to add some pressure. Let's see. I'm gonna wiggle it in there. Okay, so it's in there snug. All right, so just to kind of give you an idea of what the drip system looks like at the faucet, which I've shown you mine before. Faucet, we have a 4-way manifold. This is turned on. The drip is already timed, but we're going to test it out right now just to make sure that there's no leaks with our drip that we just did. So we're going to hit this manual button right here, manual, and we're zone 1 because we don't have anything hooked up to zone 2. So zone 1, and we're going to test it for, let's just put it on 10 minutes and let it run. And then it'll kick on and have like a little water thing up here. There you go. And then it just kicked on. I don't know if you heard it. All right, so then this is our 1/2 inch tubing. It goes all the way, it's actually buried, all the way down there and across, and then it hooks up to the drip system, the 1/2 inch drip. And then you've already seen what we've connected it to. All right, so this is right here is where it's going to drip out at. Do you see it dripping right there?
Oh yeah.
So what I want to make sure, oh, I think that was from my watering. All right, y'all.
Little excitement.
Yeah.
Let me turn it off.
So we gotta fix that one. So you can see this one's leaking. So we're gonna have to fix that. That is a no-go. And these right here, we did a 3-way tie there and here and brought this one all the way to here. It's just got a regular dripper there and one over that way too. Look how lovely this is. Like, it's bright, it's cheery, I love it. It contrasts really, really well against these Emerald Green Arborvitaes. And they're gonna get 6 feet tall. And these Emerald Green Arborvitaes are pretty tall, but they're still gonna get 13 feet tall. And I think they planted them too far apart. They're never really gonna fill in, but this is gonna make a great filler because eventually this will hide all of this. And look how pretty. So we have 1, 2, 3. And then we came over here and did 1, 2, 3. Because me and both Bonnie like cohesive and symmetry. Symmetry is what we like. So, and then I'm putting a slow drip. So whenever you plant something, it's nice to put a slow drip. We already have drip on it, but you want to water everything in really well initially. And then we have a hydrangea. That is the pufferfish hydrangea. And then we planted some perennials in here. We have catmint, which is the Walker's Low, like I have. And this will get kind of big. Right here, you see the Nepeta Walker's Low. Let me see, it tells you how big it gets. Zones 3 to 8. I don't see... It says a large catmint that produces lavender violet flowers over mounds of aromatic, cool silver foliage. Excellent when mass planted, good for edging and borders, and that's exactly what we have here. And it says that it's good with verbena, and we actually picked out a verbena. So there is catmint, and I have the same in the front of my border. And then we got the Brazilian verbena right here. So it attracts butterflies, full sun, and we got 3 of these, 3 of each. This is an outstanding continuously flowering plant with 2-inch lavender flowers that bloom on tall, coarsely haired stems. Excellent for the middle of a mixed border or planted in mass. It attracts hummingbirds and butterflies. Oh my gosh, I love it. And that's zone 7 to 10. Plant in full sun. So it's getting plenty of sun here, you can see. So I told her she needs to come back with plant tags like I do, just so she'll remember what she's got. So catmint, verbena, 1, 2, 3 catmints, 3 verbenas. And then she had the little forsythia that she didn't really like. So we planted 4 of them. There's one here, one in the very back of this holly that you can't see. And then these were 2 small ones. So we planted 2 together. There was no sense in her like throwing that plant away. So we put them 2 close together. And then there's that. And then here is the puffer fish. This was new last year. I have a puffer fish in my garden as well, but the deer ate almost every new bloom off of it. So she's got a fence, so hopefully there won't be any deer. And actually there's 2 fences, so they would have to jump 2 fences to get to her. But this is a Panicle hydrangea. Let me open it up here and tell you about it. This one says, when pufferfish hydrangea flowers, its foliage nearly disappears under the blizzard of blooms. A neat, unusual tuft of extra florets burst from the tip of the flower in late summer. And you can see that it's kind of hard to see, but those are the extra little tufts right there. So it'll be exciting when this blooms. So we have 2 of those. And then again, just to be cohesive, we've got 3 of the sunshine Ligustrums. So they're going to get 6 feet tall, and they'll fill, like I said, fill in this whole space. Now we've checked all the boxes off. We know that they take sun. We know that where the water source is coming from because we got drip to it. So yeah, like everything should be awesome. And we put plant tone on it, went ahead and fertilized it. We got biotone down in the hole. We amended our soil with compost and biotone. We put compost on the top and then we mulched it. So there you go, that's perfect success. And then coming down here, we just planted these up the other day. She's got some petunias in there that are real unique and different. And then gold dust right here. So it's gonna be pretty, and a spike in the middle. So when all that fills out, it's gonna be pretty. And then the same. And my husband built this, do you remember? Someone asked me if I can remind them. So this is just a 4x4 post that is 8 feet tall. So this is 6 feet tall and it's 2 feet in the ground. And there's no compost or anything, no concrete down there whatsoever. And then we just put like a little light. You could put a birdhouse on there if you'd like, something decorative. And then we got, I think these were 12-inch hooks. And then we bought these at Pike's Nursery and they're wrought iron with the cocoa liners. And we have 2 hooks and we off-place them right there. And there's just a screw in there. Like I said, it's on the hook. Very decorative. And then we hooked it up to drip too, down there somewhere. So there's a few little flowers that I gave her. Foxglove, salvia, some different little perennials that I gave her. And these are wine and roses, wadula. And she's got 3 of these, and these are so pretty in bloom right now. Hummingbirds love these. And then come over here, she's got some knockout roses that we pruned all the way back, and then she's given them some rose tone. And they look pretty. Beautiful, vibrant pink rose. Look at that. And then yesterday too, you may notice that we bought this. It's a sunlight, very attractive and cute. And then Vigo Garden gifted me these tomatoes, and I didn't need as many as they sent me, so I gave her some. So I'll tag Vigo Garden. These are Celebrity Plus tomatoes right there. And then this one over here is Mountain Magic tomato right there. And it's on drip, so we don't have to worry about that. And let's see. And then coming up this way, she's got 2 rows of Sharons up here. They were gorgeous. One's white with hot pink, and the other one's all white, I believe. So 2 rows of Sharons. They're 2 more Emerald Green Arborvitaes to give her some privacy with the neighbor here. And then this was newly planted. This is the lemon coral sedum from last year, and you can see that it went to flower there. If you don't like this look, you can cut it back and it'll give you like the look of what it used to be. And then she didn't have enough, so she planted more here. And then she does the Sun Patient compact deep red there, and I think she's got 14 in here to make a big impact. And then this one came up, the salvia, but she dug all the salvias up because it got lost one year, and she brought those over there. Let's walk over here. She has 2 crepe myrtles, one's coral, one's pink, and then we pruned them all the way back this past spring. And then down here, the salvia. Gorgeous salvia with the Gara. Isn't that beautiful? Now look, when these sunshine Ligustrums fill in, look how pretty that's gonna be. Look how pretty it is now. Isn't that picturesque? Little frog's cute. And then she has a nice little sitting area right here. She put a gazebo from Costco. And then a palm. This palm does not winter over, but it's a cheap palm from Home Depot. And then down here, she's got yellow lantana right here. And then from Proven Winners, she's got the new, I think this one's new, Super Bells Double Redstone right here. And it's a double flower. And you see we got drip in there. And both of these 2 containers are identical right there. Pretty container. And then this was newly planted as well. So this right here is Laguna Cloud White right there. So different textures. She's got a white verbena here with a little bit of yellow in it. And then she has, this was actually sage. I was on what to call it salvia, but it's a sage that's hot pink. Look at that. See if I can find the tag. Here we go. It's a perennial too. Autumn sage perennial. Did you know that, Bonnie? This is a perennial.
I know that.
So we want to make sure that we don't ever get rid of that. And then we have Sweet Carolina back here, potato vine, and like I said, the white verbena. And this verbena is called Little Lucky right there. So that's what's in this container. And then we already went over these containers over here. Woo! There we go.
Woo! That was a long day of planting and
Yes.
pulling up shrubs, replanting.
Now we're gonna have a drink.
Have a little toast for our hard labor.
I know.
All right.
All right.
Oh,
All right. So here's to gardening. Great friendship. What else you want to add?
love of flowers and planting together.
Exactly.
All
Cheers.
right, cheers.
All right. So I think this was a great video. If you like this content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Every like that I get, YouTube pushes it out more. Every share gets me more subscribers. And yeah, just make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I have a goal that I wanted to get to 20,000 by the end of this year, Bonnie.
What are you at?
6,000.
Oh, all right.
Close to 7. So help me, you guys. Like, help me get there to 20,000
Subscribe.
by the end of this year. This is April, so
It's doable.
yeah, very doable. All right. Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
I feel like I can guzzle this because I'm so
I know.
thirsty.
But then we'll feel sick.
I know.
Here, eat an orange, because that like if like my blood sugar is low, I think.
Little cutie patooties.
I love these. Oh, that's
I'm
what it
gonna
is.
go in there.
Yeah, put one in. Put a couple in. Oh, they look good.
Oh, so good.
Mm.
The
I
garden
asked
looks
Chuck.
good.
I asked Chuck to get more of these. I hope. The yard looks so good. I mean, Chuck, as you said, you were only gonna do your pots. I go, I know, but then you kept trying with those bushes, and then I wanted to replace them. So it's his fault. And then he likes hydrangeas, and I do too. So
Yeah. I'm a bad influence on Bonnie.
you are.